Okay, good morning. Last time we discussed about some of the practical assignments of NetBeans. Let's do some more practice. I'll just move on to the practical assignment that I have. So we have done this calculator. We have also done this option. We have done this also, total marks last time. And okay, this was we were discussing. So in this question, we have radio buttons, and here we are entering. We are require a user to enter a rate over here and the quantity, and whatever rate and quantity is written will multiply the both values, and then whatever answer comes, we print it here. Then we'll calculate the discount. Discount is to be calculated based on the selection done here, right? If platinum is selected, then discount 10% discount is to be given. If gold, 8% discount is to be given. If it is silver, then 5% discount is to be given. So based on the selection, that whatever calculation is done, so we'll get the answer over here, right? अगर वो प्लेटिनम है तो 10% इस टोटल अमाउंट का निकाल के हमें यहाँ प्रिंट करना है. अगर वो गोल्ड है तो 8% निकाल के प्रिंट करना है. अगर सिल्वर है तो 5% प्रिंट करना है. And then net amount is to be calculated, which is this total amount minus discount, right? So okay, I'll just move on to just a second. I'll take up the attendance. Okay, I'll move on to NetBeans. So yesterday we okay, this was the interface we talked about. Now here we have these three radio buttons, and I told you that we have to apply a radio button group here so that single selection can be done, right? Otherwise we can have multiple selection over here. So let me show you the output first, and then I'll show you the program also. So see, this is the output. Item name, let's say book. Rate, I put 20 rupees. Quantity is 125. I'll select platinum, click on calculate. So we'll multiply these two values, we'll get 2500 rupees here, and platinum will give you 10% discount. So 10% discount is calculated, and then net amount is these two are subtracted. 2500 minus 2250, we'll get 2250 rupees. And if you select gold and click calculate, then 8%, that is 200. And if you select silver and calculate, then we'll get 5% out of it, right? Now in the calculate button, This is the coding we need to write. We have taken 5 variables, all of float data type. RT will read the value from the text field, the first text field, that is the rate. QTY will read the value from the second text field, that is the quantity. So हम RT और QTY को मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, AMT नाम के वेरिएबल में स्टोर किया. Then we'll check if the first radio button is selected. Name of the radio button is RDBTN Platinum. If that is selected, then discount of 10% is calculated of AMT. AMT into 10 over 100. Else, if the second one is selected, that is gold one. So इसका नाम है RDBTN gold. So then 8% is to be selected, calculated. And else means if both are not selected, then 5% is to be selected. And then finally we took another variable net net. So net will have the net amount, so amount minus dis, amt minus dis. So whatever is the amount, we'll subtract the discount from that, and then we'll print all these three values in these three text fields, right? So this is the program. This program is regarding, okay. Going further, तो यहाँ पे ये ध्यान रखना है कि इस सेलेक्टेड मेथड से हम लोग ये चेक करते हैं. दिस क्वेश्चन इज वेरी कॉमन बिकॉज रेडियो बटन चेक बॉक्सेस आर द मोस्ट कॉमनली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस इन योर एग्जाम्स, राइट? तो जीयूआई फॉर्म्स में आपको ये रेडियो बटन्स और चेक बॉक्सेस के क्वेश्चन सबसे ज़्यादा पूछे जाते हैं. तो यू शुड नो हाउ टू रीड दिस. सो इस सेलेक्टेड मेथड से हमने चेक करना है, ये ध्यान रखना ज़रूरी है, राइट? As you see here, this is the first button is selected equal to true. So is selected method will check whether this radio button is selected or not. If it is selected, then 10% is to be calculated. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next button. If that gold button is selected, then 8% is to be calculated. Or if both are not selected, then 5% is to be selected. Then this clearly indicates that the third button is selected, right? And for close button we have to write system.exit0. That I haven't done it, so you can do it yourself. We have done it before also. Next is understanding and using radio buttons in real life. So in this question, um, there's a theater booking system we have created, computerized booking system, and in this again we are using radio buttons. Now we have two categories here. One is the seat type. If we select stalls, then 625 rupees is the rate for that. If we select circle, 750. If we select upper class, 850, and if we click on box, then 1000 is the charge for that. These are the different rates based on these different radio buttons. Then we have two more options, payment mode. If cash is selected, then there is no discount, right? And now if cash is selected, then 10% of the discount will be given, and if credit card is selected, then 5% discount is given, right? So in this interface, what we need is total number of seats and total amount. These two things user will not only number of seats user will select, राइट, दिस विल एंटर. तो जो भी यूज़र ने सेलेक्ट किया उस हिसाब से, अगर 5 नंबर ऑफ सीट्स हैं और सर्कल सेलेक्ट किया, तो सर्कल के चार्जेस हैं 750. 750 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 5, बट 3750 शुड बी प्रिंटेड हियर, राइट? देन इफ कैश इज सेलेक्टेड, देन इस अमाउंट का 10% डिस्काउंट हो जाएगा. अगर क्रेडिट कार्ड सेलेक्टेड है तो 5% डिस्काउंट प्रिंट होएगा यहाँ पे, and then these two are to be subtracted to get the net amount, right? Let's just do this. right click, new. Let's open a new form and give a name to the class, any name you can give. Okay, on the top we have name of one particular label, the name of the call, this thing, and then let's put a panel so that we can group all the radio buttons properly. Radio button 1, then 2, 3. How many we require? 4 radio buttons, right? So these are the 4 radio buttons, and then let's take another panel and we require 2 radio buttons here in this panel, one for cache, one for we need a label here where we need a text field where the next thing, that is total number of sheets, are to be added, then 3 text fields and 3 labels for printing the answer, right? Label 1, 2, 3 labels here for printing, or let's take labels only, we don't want text fields. We can print the output in labels only because labels are not editable at runtime, right? So this is theater booking system. So here we'll write theater booking system. The first radio button was for stalls. Stall, circles, upper class, and box. Oh, stalls, circle, upper class, and box. So these are the 4 radio buttons we have. Let's arrange them in single line only. Then we have payment mode. Seat type is to be written there. So here we'll write payment mode, and this is cash. The next one will be credit card. Then this label will be for number of seats, and this text field we need to keep it blank. Here we have amount. This is discount, and the last label is final amount, let's say, right? And these labels, let's keep them blank. I'll put text fields here in place of labels because text fields are easier for handling. Fine. So the next thing we need to do is variable names. Let's name this as R1 because we need to use all these. R2, R3, because these names are used in your they are used in the programming. Whenever we write that program, we'll use this name. So R5, R6 for cash and credit. This text field we need, we'll take a T1. Let's take this text field as T2 and this as T3. The last one as T4. Fine. And lastly, we need a button for calculation. Fine. Now we'll move on to the coding part. And we need to read the value from the text field. So text field's name was T1. So हमें ये value read करनी है first of all. So let's take a variable. I'll take double x is equal to double dot pass double t1 dot get text. Right, after reading this value, now we'll need to check if first radio button is selected. If radio button 1 is selected, then फर्स्ट रेडियो बटन पे हमें क्या करना है, 625 rupees we have to use, and that should be multiplied by this number of sheet, and that should come here, right? So we'll take a variable double amt 625 multiplied by x, right? Similarly, for other options also, we'll use, now the error over here is that we have to declare these variables first. Here we will only use the variable. Fine. So this is for R1. Similarly, for R2 also and R3 also, we need to write the statements for R2, R3, and R4. And this value will change. For R2, that is circle, it is 750, then upper class 850, and box 1000. So this should be 750. This is 850. And this is 1000. Fine. So this selection is over. Now we need to print the amount into the text field where the amount should come, right? So what is the name of this text field? This is T2. So we'll write T2 dot set text inverted comma plus amt star t. Sorry, t, it's not t, it's x. So this will print the amount with the, multiply the amount and then print it. Fine. Okay, we don't want x here. Reason is that amt is already having that value. So we'll only print amt here in T2. Okay, so amt is not initialized. Let it be 0 in the beginning. Fine. So this is how your first part is over here, that whatever selection is done in the first four radio buttons, based on that amount is calculated. Now we'll talk about discount. So discount is given 10% on cash and 5% on that credit card, right? So for that also we need to put some conditions. If R5 dot is selected, if R5 is selected, R5 is for cash. So for that we'll use a variable dis, and whatever is the amount, we'll find 10% of that. Right, dis also has to be declared on the top. Let's initialize at 0. Similarly, if that next radio button, that is the cash one, the first one was cash, second was for credit card, 5% discount is to be given, right? Now, discount is calculated. We need to print this discount in the next text field, that is T3. So we'll print DIS into T3. And lastly, we have net amount. So last is AMT minus DIS. Fine. So AMT minus DIS will get you the final amount, the net amount, and that will be printed in T4 text field. Fine. Now let's see how this program runs. Okay, that's the output area. Now, if I select number of seats at 5, and I click on stalls and click on cash, click on calculate. So 3,250 rupees is the amount. Discount is 10% of it. Final amount is this minus this. And let's change this. Instead of stalls, if I select circle, and instead of cash, if I select credit card, now it is 3,750, and discount is calculated at 5% of it, and then 5% में से वो minus कर दिया. So this is how this multiple system of radio buttons can be used and utilized, right? One thing we haven't done here is that हमने button group नहीं लगाया जिसके कि single selection हो सके. Now in this case we have to add up two button groups, one for these 4 radio buttons and one for these 2, because we need single selection in these 2 as well as in these 2. So as you can see now, we can select multiple buttons here. So, but actually this should not happen. So we have to add button groups here, right? I'll show you that how do we add it. So, but ये ध्यान रखना है that button groups, we need to add 2 button groups, one for the upper 4 and one for the next 4. You see button group 1 and 2. 2 are added. Then go to the properties, go to button group property of the first one. Now I'm selecting button group 1 for this, right? So that means for the next also you have to select button group 1, not 2. So for all these 4, go to button group 1, and for these 2 options, payment modes, we'll go with button group 2. So we need 2 separate button groups here for both different set of options. Now see, we have single selection here now. These yellow lines will show you that these all are linked, right? So that's it from this particular question. Let's move on to the next one. Next is this: to check whether the given user ID and password is correct or not. Now here we are using password field. So ID is any name, password which is encrypted means you will not be able to see that password. In place of that, dot or star or hash, something will come. By default it is dot. So when you click on login, so it will match the user ID and password enter. If they are correct, the dialog box will come, you have logged successfully. And if it is wrong, then you'll get your credentials are wrong or whatever message you want to give. So let's see the thing. Now, as we know that to read a password, we don't use getX, we use get password method, right? And to write this get password method, this is the way. Name of the password field dot getX. You have to write it in the string. You have to convert that into string. That simply saying, right? A new keyword is used, and we take a variable of string type to save it. Right? We don't use getX. We use get password method here, right? Then again, we if we want to compare a string value, we don't use double equal to equal to. We don't write for strings. For that, we use equals method, right? So if the value of pwd is equal to this value, p password only, then the message should come, you have logged in successfully. Or the message should come, if that is not matching, this word is not matching, to incorrect user ID or password, right? So let's just see the X. I think I have already made this one. No, this is percentage calculator. This is normal calculator. This is regarding text area. Chalo, anyhow, we are not left with much time. So you just practice this at home. Whatever we have done, this password and all will do next time. Fine. Okay, then from my side, it's all over. So just go through all the things, and then you do come up with your doubts and all. We'll definitely discuss them. Okay, goodbye from my side.